Everyone, welcome to a very wonderful Monday where you look at the counting days to the end of the year 2024. Our expectations on political development in the country is still topping the agenda and efforts by government. There are many assessments of the efforts in tracking some of these developments. But tonight, everyone, we will turn our attention to the issues that is with the major opposition parties in the country, from allegations of lack of internal democracy, the anti-party activities, the factional disputes, lack of accountability to accusation of corrupt practices, and the lack of many issues which are tearing the major opposition parties apart. This is still drawing a lot of concern that though the opposition parties are accusing outside influences of being behind the crisis bedeviling the opposition, the unvarnished truth is that most of the issues threatening to rip the parties asunder are self-inflicted. Tonight, we'll be speaking with an expert, a political expert, who will be joining us subsequently on the program to make sense about the current crisis in PDP, crisis in Labour Party, and other political parties in the country, Nigeria. It has been the notice of the Nigerian military authorities that are pressing the arrest of the leader, Simon Ekpa, in Finland on Thursday. Recall that Ekpa was arrested along with 4 others for alleged terror-related activities, including incitement to violence and terrorism financing in Nigeria. Now, in 2 separate statement letters, the Nigerian Defense Authority has lauded Ekpa's arrest as a step towards extradition to Nigeria and a validation of Nigeria's bilateral relations with the international community. And police in Finland arrested Ekpa along with 4 others on Thursday for suspected terrorism financing and inciting deadly violence in the Nigeria's southeast part of the country. Tonight, we'll be delving into that issue, that those that are having a concern of extradition, what probably are the consideration of all of these factors. The Finnish police are seeking a court order to extend their detention, and the arrest is coming 8 months after the Nigerian authorities declared Ekpa a wanted man, and 3 months after they appealed to a visiting European Union delegation to extradite him. What does the law say? What are the considerations of all of this agitation of the Southeast? There have been a condemnation as well from Enugu State government that they are ready to provide every support and materials that will head to extradite him from Finland back to Nigeria. Tonight, our Global TV security professional and the political analyst is live here on the program to first give us an understanding about the matter, the terrorism, the allegations that have been raised against Simon Ekpa, and the persistent insecurity in the Southeast is still a major concern to everyone in the country. Prof is here on the program. Thanks so much, Prof, for joining us on Big Talk.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, Prof, Ekpa has been arrested. He was declared wanted. And that those that are having a concern that it looks that now that he has been arrested, is it possible to extradite him back to the country to try him of terrorism, to try him of all of the allegations that have been raised against him, Prof?
Thank you very much. Ekpa has dual citizenship, meaning he's just not a Nigerian alone. He's also a member of the Finnish. He's a citizen of the Finnish. So if you look at it deeply, will the government of Finland just hand over their citizen to Nigeria as extradition? As at the period of him being declared wanted to the period he was arrested, has he visited Nigeria?
So it's causing havoc.
Causing havoc through what means?
Causing destruction, lives are destroyed, men of the security agencies are killed in their numbers, businesses have been affected by closing down their shops and businesses on the sit-at-home policy. All of those things, they said, is dangerous for human existence.
One, IPOD has denied that he's not even their member.
But
the Eastern Security Network also denied that he's not their member. Secondly, thirdly, he has already said that he has not declared himself as a prime minister of Biafra any day. So we have to look into this. It's not just mere saying of accusing him of doing this and doing that. But we should also look at it. Has he actually committed any offense? Was he committing the offenses from Finland, or the offenses have been committed in Nigeria? And what method was he using to call for sit at home, if any? Because you have to prove that he was involved. You cannot say somebody is a leader of a protest when the person is not even in the country.
So if IPOB are denying him, but there are those that feel he was once a leader of that movement.
They said he was a leader of the movement. I can't give credit to it that he was actually a leader of the movement.
Because some of his campaigns on social media platform have been inciting that. There have also been a concern that it looks that he's still financing some of those agitations in the Southeast.
You should also know that when we were having the South-South agitation, which is the Niger Delta agitation, we were having somebody called Gbomuk Gbomo. And who was Gbomuk Gbomo? Has anybody proved to us that this is Gbomuk Gbomo up to today?
So does it look that it's the wrong fingers that have been appointed against him?
Whether wrong fingers or not, we have to establish the facts.
What are the facts, Prof?
The fact is that, has he called for sit at home? What was his mode of operations? What is his active role in the movement? Is he an active member of IPOD? Has he financed IPOD? Has he weaponized IPOD? Has he come to Nigeria to agitate for Biafra? These are facts that you have to put in place. It's not just call for arrest and extradition. We should also don't undermine the Finland security. With the Finland security knowing what has the process of prosecution of Nnamdi Kanu, allow their citizens to come to Nigeria to face the same process of prosecution.
So you are saying that if one is committing a crime against the nation, a crime like terrorism against the peace of the nation, isn't that strong? It doesn't hold water to extradite or based on bilateral relations?
It's not bilateral relations. I came to Nigeria.
He's a citizen. He's a citizen of Nigeria as well.
So if he has Nigeria perpetuate a crime, and I left Nigeria, it's a different scenario to Finland. I am in Finland, not been to Nigeria for some time, and you said I committed a crime. Will you be in Ghana and commit armed robbery in Nigeria and be tried for robbery? No, let's face the facts.
So if it's possible that those that feel he has been financing some of this movement, isn't that worthy of that justification?
Yeah, if you have evidence that he has been financing from diaspora, okay. But did you have evidence?
Enugu State, his own state, said they have evidence of the destruction that Simon Ekpa really stands for. That if a state government is saying that, we look at that is just part of the Southeast. How about other states that have been victim of such agitation?
Has Enugu State produced those evidence?
They say they are ready to provide any of the evidences for government to extradite.
I hope it's not for political reasons.
Does it look that Simon Ekpa's...
Anything can happen in Nigeria.
But you know the lives and property have been destroyed.
Very well. By who?
Do you have an idea about the causes of all of this?
Yeah, we are every Monday, the Southeast is losing billions
for sit at home.
For sit at home.
Simon Ekpa is championing this.
And he has every right to say he was not the one involved.
He's using that. Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. And because Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention, that is the reason why the people should be using that to draw the attention of government to sit at home. Is that the right way? And it does not show that this is one that has a motive of inciting the violences that have been perpetrated in that state.
That is because we have not come to follow the process of separation. If you want to exist a nation, there is a process you follow. And that process is not followed because people have not spelled it out. Let's look at it logically. I want to exist the nation. And I want to exist with some certain zone of this country or a state of this country. There is a way we exist legally. And as far as we are following it this way, there's a lot of propaganda. When Sunday Ogboho was talking of the Yoruba nation or the Oduduwa nation, he made it this, and the crackdown was to zero later on. So the way we negotiate and navigate these issues are the sources of the security procedures. So if we don't follow security procedures and we don't follow the laws, then there is nothing much we can do.
So does it look that the extradition cannot come so soon enough, because that those accused, if the Finnish police have also indicted him that he has contributed to the violence and the crimes against civilians in the southeastern part of this country, that those accused, let him be brought back to try on the law of Nigeria. He has a lawyer, he will be having access to lawyer to try the case and make some of these proof. So the question is does it look that it can be extradited from Finland back to Nigeria?
You can see yourself that Finland is already asking for an extension. So it's not something that Nigeria should be celebrating.
Well, Nigerian government is putting pressure on that.
You putting pressure does not mean I'm going to release somebody to you. No matter the pressure, they have their policing network. They also have their laws, which is not in tandem with our laws. So I have not seen where the Finland government is just going to release him to Nigerian government to go and prosecute. They are going to be very detailed whether he is fallible or not. So if they feel that he has not committed any offense, they are going to send the report to the Nigerian authority that our citizen did not commit any offense. But I still have my fear.
What was that, Prof?
The fear of him being incorporated into their system. And releasing it to us also is another trouble.
You mean Simon?
Yes. He could be brainwashed and used and come to use as a foreign as an agent here in Nigeria to come and understudy our security system. We should also look at that.
So I mean, when you look at every country and every government wants to tackle insecurity in many parts of the country, I mean, many part of the regions, and then it looks that the persistent insecurity in the south is an effort by government to put the rest. They arrested Nnamdi Kanu based on these violence and agitations of Biafra movement. And since Nnamdi Kanu was arrested and detained, that gave Simon Ekpa's face. It looks that his face became popular because Nnamdi Kanu was now arrested to become the new face. Even when HIPOP have said he's not our leader, that those that are still having a concern that from his little corner in Finland, he has been contributing from social media posts, he has been inciting some of these agitation. That those are views. Shouldn't be. I mean, if Finland government should allow this, it's against some international laws that governs the communities.
If you have the evidence in place to prosecute Nnamdi Kanu, how many years does it take to prosecute Nnamdi Kanu and find him worthy? What is the government waiting for all this? Why? Were they waiting for Simon Ekpa?
Don't you feel so?
Why must Nnamdi Kanu remain in the DSS custody? What national security?
Do you feel that there's some information?
So how long is the process? No, how long? The judiciary process.
Don't you feel the security agencies have some information and they are still not likely trying to let him go at the moment?
So you keep him in perpetual detention? He's not in prison? You said you have all the evidence. Why did you bring him back to Nigeria if you know you don't have any evidence against him? And how long and tell us, look at how much they are saying in arraigning him anytime he comes to court. How much is costing the government? Is that what the government wants to follow every day?
But if Simon Ekpa is arrested and Nnamdi Kanu is also arrested, does it look that there will be peace in the Southeast? Because all what we are much interested is about how they can restore total peace in the Southeast.
There is not going to bring any peace, because even when Simon Ekpa was not in the country, there was no peace. He was not arrested, there was no peace.
There will be no money to finance him again. Now he has been arrested.
Thank you. How much is Simon Ekpa worth? And what is his popularity in Finland? How popular?
He's a Finland politician.
How much money does he control in Finland?
That those that feel he's a Finland politician, he probably has some that those that are supporting him disguise him, because from all what the police are saying, that there are some transactions, that they have also read. So it looks that it's not just about Simon Ekpa, it's about people channeling resources through Simon to the Southeast.
Have they checked his bank accounts to find out that he has some millions that he's using to channel this money?
But my concern is, if all of this is being found, how can the laws in Finland be tried against Simon Ekpa if the crimes that is being perpetrated is causing the problems in Nigeria?
The crimes being perpetuated, we talk of crimes being perpetuated. Are these crimes being perpetuated by Simon Ekpa? I'm not speaking for him.
Yeah, we are trying to have a understanding. That's the reason why I'm having this conversation.
So, how much is this Simon Ekpa worth? And how does the funds leave Finland to Nigeria? Which process? We should know the worth of somebody and said he has so industry in Finland. He has these companies in Finland, and he represents this interest in Finland, and that is why he can do what he's doing. Until the security agencies are telling us how much he worth and the personality he has and how he waved that personality, I will still say we are doing it the wrong way.
So would you not press Finland government for the arrest?
The arrest being made is nothing to praise about, because you brought an allegation against a citizen. And it is the duty of the police to actually question that person. So that he was arrested and questioned, including 4 other people, has not really made it or ended as a point to detail it.
Prof, you've been in this country, you've seen several agitations in this country. When you look at the agitations of the Southeast, do you feel it's still justifiable that those that are saying one Nigeria, but it looks at the sections of the IPOB and all of those agitators, it looks at they said they do not want the existence of the country. In all of that, do you feel that their requests are really valid?
You see, there is something we call relationship, and I describe relationship as people coming together, imperfect people coming together to build perfection. So there is nobody that is perfect. We all have our imperfections. In coming together, we come together to build perfection. That is why we are relating. So your interest cannot be my interest. So everybody in the Southeast, they cannot say everybody in the Southeast is supporting the movement of Biafra. But if you want to create secession and you want to live as a separatist, what you do is to come back to the rules that govern that and make it, meaning that you call off all your people who are in the present governors, who are supporting you, to say, okay, Mr. Governor, Mr. Minister, Mr. This, we are no longer Nigerians. We are going our separate way. And they sign a memorandum. That referendum is what you push to the House to say you have gone. Nobody is forcing you to stay. So is everybody in the Southeast in tandem with what they are doing? The answer is no.
Last week, at the tribute night of late Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, former governor of Imo State raised an appeal to the Senate president to, inform the president that one of those things you should do in a way of honoring Senator Ifeanyi Ubah is to release Nnamdi Kanu. The continuous detention, I know you've briefly highlighted and spoken on that, the continuous detention of Nnamdi Kanu. We've looked at court interpretation. They have been concerned that the court has given an order. It looks at DSS are not obeying the order of the court and all of those concerned. Do you feel, how better can this be well managed? One hand, the security agencies may have some information, may have some concern why they are continuously detaining Nnamdi Kanu. On the other hand, this is what the law says concerning about detention, concerning about arrest. But how can this be well managed? Because it looks at the continuous agitations of the people of Biafra has always been that Nnamdi Kanu is being held hostage.
Very good. If you look at it, Nnamdi Kanu was extradited to this country in 2021 after the first release. And if he is here since 2021, this is 2024 going, you have not prosecuted him, the judge even recused herself, and all this went on. Another court said, you, the judge, must not recuse yourself. You must be there. Then there is something wrong. Bring the evidence you have against Nnamdi Kanu. That is what we are saying. Bring the evidence. That is what everybody is looking at. And we should also know that the international body is watching at us. And in all formation, it is not the rule of the state security service to hold Nnamdi Kanu, because he was arrested. It's supposed to be something to do with his foreign security, so NIA is supposed to handle that and hand over to the Ministry of Justice if he wants to follow security procedures. And the Ministry of Justice, I think NIA has their own detention thing. So it is purely something to do with foreign affairs, not these internal security bodies like the DSS or SSS.
All right, Prof. A really big concern, because those are really having how these issues can be resolved. The insecurity in the Northeast, the arrests of Simon Ekpa's and his tradition. How soon can this be done in respect to the many concern people are having about the consistent insecurity in the Southeast? And this time around, it's not just that of Southeast that are concerned about the insecurity in the Northeast and how better Nigeria can address the many issues of insecurity in the country. Thanks so much, Prof. Ibrahim Abubakar. He's our in-house political and security analyst. Thanks so much, Prof, for joining us on these highlights. We do hope to have you again. But we'll now turn our attention to, wrap up the conversation tonight on Big Talk to the issues of political parties, the struggles of opposition, the concern about how opposition in the country are faring, that those pointing fingers to the ruling party. But how best is this acquisition? On the program, we'll be discussing that very shortly. Please stay with us.